Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you one game in the Stb-1 and two in the Chieftan Mach 6. I come to this position right here in the dunes to get some spotting on and use my gun depression and strong turret to get some shots in on that leopard. This is my first game in the Stb-1 and so far I really like it. It has a very strong turret, which is good if you get in those haul down positions. The line leading up to it, none of them were really good. Slow tanks with not a lot of armor. The only one I kind of liked was the Chieftan with the autoloader. I'll let you watch the rest of the recording and make some comments on the gameplay. I'm about to reverse here when I realize that this object 268 is looking at me, and I get lucky with that shot knocking out his observation device, which allows me not to take that shot from him, which would be very vital to my survival. I can now get shots on this T110E5 while he's turned around and focused on my other team members. I also see this object 268 turning around to fire at them too. And my team is doing a really good job distracting these tanks so I can just farm damage from them. I noticed this mouse trying to come around and flank me, so I try and push up and get around him to get some shots from behind. Luckily he was on a reload here, or else he could have shot me, but I do use the speed, get around, get a nice shot, and then come back over this hill. At this point, I'm already over 2k damage, and I try and get that finishing shot on the E50M, but sadly, he wiggles and it bounces off his side. Now, I try and hit that T110E5's lower plate, but sadly, it bounces. And now I'm really in trouble because this T57 Heavy is face hugging me, that T110E5 is in front of me, and a mouse behind me. But luckily, my team is able to take out that T57 Heavy, and now I can just reverse to get away from that mouse, and now I'm in a bad position with the T110E5, but luckily I'm able to bounce that shot and now back up into cover. We now just brought it down from a 4v5 to a 4v2, so now we're looking good position at 925 supremacy points. But at this point, I'm really just trying to stay alive and keep this mouse spotted so my team can get some damage on him. Now, just as the battle is about to end, I get really lucky because this mouse, he completely misses his shot on me because I'm only at 168 HP, and the game ends, saving me from being killed. Now we're on to the next game. In my first game in the Chieftan Mach 6. So for this game, I choose to go up to that little ridge line in the middle and use my gun depression because the Chieftan Mach 6 has a really strong turret. So I was going to use the gun depression and try and get some shots on the enemy. So at this point, I try and pull up this ridgeline using my gun depression to get a shot into this AMX 50B's turret, but it bounces off his gun mantlet. I see this IS-4 pulling out into the open, so I decide to drive over and try and get a shot into him. I use the APCR and get a nice shell into his side, and I'm hoping to get one more just as he's pulling around the corner. I don't know how that went in, but I think it hit the top of his turret. This T-54E1 starts to pull around the corner and allows me to get a nice track shot tracking him in the open for me and my team to get more shots into him. The FV2-15B183 does a nice job of taking that T-54E1 out before he can turn around the corner and get into cover. I notice this IS-4 trying to push me, so I go behind this rock and hoping that I can get a shot into him before my team takes him out. And I do get one more shot, and that FB215B183 gets a nice shot into him. And it's also an ammo rack, sadly only for 35 damage. Now I'm trying to get shots on this Vickers, but he put me down to 58 HP. And the FV215B183 does another really good job taking out that Sheridan and giving us a fighting chance in this game. Now I'm waiting for this Vickers CR to pull around the corner so I can get a shot into him and take him out, but sadly he goes unspotted, and so I turn my attention to the right where I see the T-54, but I can't get any shots on him either. So once again I wait for this Vickers CR. Sadly I missed that shot, and so I'm just going to wait here for my team and see what happens since I am on a one shot. Now this Vickers CR is pulling up the hill, and I take that nice shot there through the barrel and take him out. Sadly, I was not able to get any more damage because the supremacy points reached 1,000 and the game ended. Now, our next game is another game in Chieftan Mod 6, and now I am going with the entire team to the left side of the map. Now here I'm pulling up to this little hill to again use my gun depression and strong turret to get a shot on that FV422. Now that Vickers is aiming in on me, so I reverse around that rock and he misses his shot. I pull up to this little rock here to hopefully hide my hull just a little bit and start to capture base A, because the other enemy team already is ahead in this point because they have captured base B. Now the tortoise right there gets a nice fire taking out the FV4202, and the Vickers is running away, leaving this T62A all alone. Now I take a shot on that Vickers there, but unlucky, and it hits the building. So now I'm going in for a ram on this T62A. I take a shot and get a nice air ram for about around 900 damage before he gets Here I turn around to go and try and get some shots on these tanks that have flanked around. I pull around this corner and get a nice side shot into that cranbag for 373. Now I notice this T92E1 coming around the corner, so I try and wiggle and I get that bounce. Now the cranbag is coming, so I wiggle right as my track is repaired and get another bounce. Now sadly before I can reload, he gets a shot into me, but I get a nice high roll in him for 500 before my STB can take him out. Now I'm going over to try and get some shots into this E100 and get a sneaky shot over the rock into him. Now I am just hoping I can get one more shot into him before my team takes him out. Well, that's it for this video. Have a great day, and please please leave a like if you enjoy.